Okay. Hello, welcome everybody. This is a presentation by mayoral candidate Shaoli Wang, talking about his highest priorities, cutting bureaucracy and spending, drop property tax, and lower the crime rate. Shaoli Wang was born in 1967 went to university in 1983, received a Master's of Science degree in geology in 1990, moved to Calgary in 2007 and became a professional geologist. Shaoli has no political affiliation, corporate allegiance, and ran 2019 federal election as an independent candidate for Calgary Rocky Ridge and received 270 votes. His municipal involvement in October of 2019, he made a presentation in the city town hall meeting, Fluoridation, Leave Me Alone. May 19th, 2021, Shaoli made a presentation in City's Green Line committee meeting and raised questions against all the alleged benefits of the Green Line. The committee was irresponsive. He then sent a 9-page letter to Minister Rick McIver. For this election, before filing his nomination paper, Shaoli had analyzed all of Calgary's annual reports available from 1998 to the most recent. And he also interviewed the last 10 years of news reports, the last 10 years of news reports. Since filling his nomination paper in March, Shaoli has contacted all the candidates and had hosted 3 debates between mayoral and council candidates. To win this election for the people, your efforts and donations are going to be essential. The goal is to spend $40,000 to win this election and bring our city back on track. Shaoli,
thank you, Michael.
All for you. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks. I start with the municipal government's responsibilities because of the misunderstandings of those issues. The first is to maintain city facilities, then address land use, provide law enforcement, fire protection, and public transportation, utilities, housing services, and emergency medical services. We should be aware Alberta Health have over 5,000 professionals working for EMS. So the city getting involved in the EMS is because of 911. 911 belongs to Calgary Police, which is under the city's responsibility. So basically the city is actually the first aid of EMS. But regarding to non-emergency medical services like mental health, like drug addiction, that should not be the city's responsibility, that belong to AHS. Mayor's highest priorities, I believe, in this election is to cut bureaucracy and spending, drop property tax, lower crime rate. Here are the reasons. Number 1, were we overtaxed? From 1998 to 2019, before the pandemic, City of Calgary's per capita tax growth rate, per capita. That shows, from this chart, it shows we have 2 parts of property tax. One is provincial property tax, one is municipal. So the lower line, the blue line, is provincial property tax. It goes pretty much along with the inflation, with the purple line. What really caused our property tax hike is the upper line, municipal property tax, which goes at a rate of 2.7 times of the inflation in the last 21 years. Number 2, how much were our residents overtaxed? I mean, our residential property tax. Due to the data access of all those other expenditures, so I start from 2003. From 2019 versus 2003, our municipal residential property tax increased 129%, which is 4 times of the 32% inflation. That happened in only 16 years. And in Nancy's first 9 years, 2011 to 2019, before the pandemic, our municipal residential property tax increased 3 times of the inflation. That's 50.9% versus the inflation of 16.8%. That's from 2011 to 2019. Number 3, a business open and closed that looks normal, but is that normal here in Calgary? So this chart shows from 1998 to 2019, before the pandemic. The blue line is our population growth line. The red line is the number of businesses. It used to go close by, but the last few years, we are losing businesses by numbers. We got a net loss of 1,490, while the offset from population is about 5,000. Number 4, can we afford the Green Line? So I was saying to the Calgarians in the last couple of months on Twitter, to those who have waited for the Green Line for decades, I told them I understand you were fine without it. You didn't need to wait that long, plus another 5 years. Calgary has over 60 communities along the LRT for them to move to. And by 2019, we lost over 1,000 businesses. And 2025, this year, on May 31st, before May 31st, we lost over 500 families. They lost their homes to the city's property tax sale because they failed to pay city's property tax for over 3 years, actually. And we have over 2,200 families lost their homes in 2020 to their mortgage companies. Over 50,000 families can't afford their property tax. And now we have 189,000 Calgarians struggling. So literally, we can't afford this Green Line. Doesn't matter how much we like it. Number 5, other reasons, technical reasons we must halt the Green Line. The city was non-responsive to my presentation on May 19, Green Line Committee meeting. So I sent a letter to Rick McIver, Minister of Transportation. Points in my letter are against all the benefits alleged by the city for the first stage Green Line. One is 65,000 ridership, and the best estimate is 15,000. For that 30,000 tons of greenhouse gas emission to be saved, not even close. The only thing they can save is the buses. The greenhouse gases from buses. And 5.5 billion cost of the first stage, they were still alleging. The best estimate is 7.65 billion. There are other experts did the same research, and we got a similar number, very close. The total cost, the best estimate is 13 billion. The city failed to even mention that to the public. For future connection to the airport, they actually mean never, because they were seeing a BRT, the LRT connection to the airport with BRT. They call that a connection. That's not a connection. And the last one is 20,000 jobs. But they didn't say 70% of them will go to the Europe, because here in Canada, even in the States, we don't have a construction company who can drill the tunnels for this first stage Green Line. Number 6, did we properly fund our police? From 1998 to 2019, the inflation was 49%, but our per capita policing cost goes up 153%, which is 3 times of the inflation. The result, more police fund, higher crime rate. And in 2019, we paid $517 million to our police, which is 150 million over inflation trend. Number 7, do you like our arts and our Peace Bridge? The Beaufort Tower, 500,000, Blue Rain, 470, Bearing, 221, Peace Bridge, 24.5 million, plus 1 million repairment cost already. Forest Long Lift Station, 236, Wishing Well, 559. I don't like any of them. Number 8, what transparency and accountability means in our City Hall. City officials recommended against putting the community speed issue to a plebiscite. And Councillor Shang Chu's position is that those council members are not willing to widely consult with voters because they may not like the answer. They are afraid to listen to the public. These are the same people who support the Olympics, but were against an Olympic plebiscite. That means they knew they are against the publics, so they are afraid of the plebiscite. The accountability is a big issue. The city talk about that all the time. They didn't take any chance to show that to us. Number 9, did we really send 40% property tax to the province? We have city councils asking for a fair deal to the city against the province when the province was asking that from the federal government. The truth is, from 1998 to 2020, the two lines here in this chart, two red lines, the upper one is the municipal property tax, lower one is the provincial property tax. Since 1998, it had the provincial share had dropped from 41% to 29% in 2020, and the exact number is 29.1%. So that 40% is a huge lie. Number 10, where did our overtaxation go? So this chart shows from 2003 to 2019. It's by $1 million. The blue line is the city's overinflation and population salary. The black line is our overinflation and population municipal property tax. Those two lines goes closely by. That says everything already. So from 2019 versus 2003, our overinflation and population salary paid to the city is 520 million. Well, our overinflation and population municipal property tax is 568 million. That means 91.6% of our overpaid tax goes to cities' overpaid salary in 2019. Number 11, two main sources of salary overpay. One is the overstaffing. This is 47% of the number of staff increase during these 16 years versus population increase of 39%. So that's 8% overstaffing. And the second is overpay. That's average salary overpay. City got average 64% increase versus a 32% inflation during the same period of time. That's the two causes of salary overpay. Number 12, what is the city council's position on city's salary over increase? So the three colors shows the lowest one is 64% is the city's average salary increase during the 16 years. 83% is the mayor's pay increase. The 102% is our city council's pay increase during that 16 years. So that shows the reason why they support cities' salary increase way over inflation. Number 13, where exactly did our overtaxation go? So compared with 2003, between 2011 and 2019, which is Nancy's first 9 years before the pandemic, we got a cumulative over inflation and population municipal property tax of 4.6 billion. And over inflation of population salary of the city is a 4.8 billion, which means all of our overpaid tax goes to the city's overpaid salary, with 200 million in red. And the result is a cost of $5,442 per household and $56,990 per business during the Nancy's first 9 years. Number 14, how were our inner-town businesses strangled? You heard of our inner-town business suffered, like Kensington, Beltline, 17th Avenue, and around. This chart shows the Kensington Autos property tax. City used to have a non-residential property tax and a business tax, and they later put that together. This chart put all of them together, and this is the trend shows the average business tax increase. But Kensington Auto, like one of our inner-town business, they got a way higher increase than the average business. That's the way they killed our inner-town businesses. Number 15, how did the city defend its overpaid salary and staffing, actually? City manager used the hearsay evidence alleged to be better than the very worst bureaucracy if existed. They didn't name which city, and easily defends his unknown number of managers and their overpaid salaries. Here is the video clips.
How many directors, how many managers that we have in the organization at the management level?
So Councillor Carly-Urquhart, I have the numbers, but I don't have them exactly off the top of my head. I can tell you we're probably already the leanest municipality of our size. And I can tell you one of our comparators, they would need to reduce their management staff by about 9% to equate what the city of Calgary on a per capita basis is. So we're already incredibly well structured. And I have no doubt, like I said at the outset, through this work, we will find further opportunities to maybe not downsize the right term, but definitely work differently together, looking at all of our SAVE initiatives to ensure that we're, again, driving value and reducing the cost of government as much as we can.
Would it make life easier for you if council directed a 10 or 12% cut to accelerate the process?
I don't think you need to do that.
That is the city council meeting happened in October 2020. The city council was Ward 13 city council. She was city council for over 20 years. She still got the question of how many managers, directors we have in this city. And the city manager couldn't even answer that. His defense was there is some city somewhere in Canada. Yeah, we are better than them. That is not even a defense. If he takes the oath in court, testify like that, he can probably face criminal charge for forgery. So what I will do, one, I will roll back mayor's pay by 20% from 2019 level. Two, I will cut municipal residential property tax 15% by 23, 23.5% by 25, and cut municipal non-residential property tax, that means our business tax, by 20% by 23, 26% by 25. 3. I will secure frontline service, freeze hiring, cut pay and expenses, shed off overstaffing. 4th, I will halt the Green Line, the arena, and Calgary Municipal Land Corporation's expanding and renovation projects. 5. I will lower crime rate, restore police pride by holding up 10% CPS budget and ban it with crime rate reversely, pushing for community policing. 6. Lower tax sale, initiate a seniors property tax credit. 7. Take full liability to fix the Crescent Height lead pipe within a year. 8. Initiate a 12 community-based banding plebiscite for destiny of the 14th Street Southwest BRT. Number 17. The biggest challenge is me to take on. Each of our city council candidates have a long to-do list with mostly unknown funding. I have longer list in mind, and I will firstly attend to what the city councils have continuously ignored. Show them where the cancer is, the size of each tumor, and persuade them to make the life-saving cuts. Work with the CPS to lower the crime rate without adding further cost or increasing fines. Convince CPS and city councils that we collectively bear the honors to keep my promises that Calgarians deserve, more so because of the severity of the crisis we are in. Business will thrive only if my promises be kept. I have the knowledge of law and logic and the extended experience of convincing people. I am ready to carry all of the city's burdens as your top public service employee, and I will work for you and walk my talk. Thank you.